If it is released, if all the information that you've heard from your witnesses is released, if they release, alien craft, and they release alien bodies and all of these things, how do you imagine the world would be different?
I think it will lead to a giant technology boom. I think once we're told, hey, there's this technology that exists that could revolutionize the way we live, it could lead to anti-gravity technology. It could lead to
new energy sources.
Right. Solve the energy crisis overnight, right? It could lead to interstellar travel and going farther out,
And I think it would have a
unknown.
great psychological effect because, if suddenly you go from the point of saying, well, maybe we're the only intelligent species in the universe, and then you suddenly get the idea that this is a universe full of life.
What does that mean for religion?
I think all dogmas will just apply to it, and I think the Vatican's already gotten ahead of it and said, they put out a message a couple of years ago that basically the gist of it was, God's universe and God's work is vast and
vast, and
basically
you couldn't say that he wouldn't have the ability to do that.
So
in fact, from a religious
yeah.
standpoint, and certainly in the case of the Catholic Church, they've had very positive views about population being throughout the universe.
And there's nothing really, at least from the Catholic Church's perspective, there's nothing that counters that doesn't allow you to wrap your head around the fact that there's other life out there, an interesting thing happening right now, Stephen, too, is these people who have been gatekeeping the truth. A lot of them are afraid to come forward and tell the White House what they know because they think they're going to be villainized. They think the optics around this are such that, if someone's been covering this up, they're the villain of the story, right? And so the White House and the Director of National Intelligence and the Department of War realize this, and so in the last couple of weeks, they've been messaging out to the military and the intelligence community that this is not a witch hunt. It's not an endeavor to punish anyone. They want to encourage people to come forward. They assure them there will be no punishment for being involved in gatekeeping this. They just want to learn the truth and find out where the real evidence sits. So that's another thing that's playing out right now that I think if it gets out there enough, it will lead to more people coming forward with that evidence we all want to see.